Difference you can find in this hall is the difference between a house slave and a field slave, where the field slave is the one who has been totally ripped of their rights, disenfranchised, while the house slave still virtually believe that because they are close to the master, they are better off. We are all in exile, far away from our own country. There's a lot of nostalgia in us. Sometimes when we meet in a room like this, it gives us the opportunity to reflect what we have lost. But the essence of my discourse is to make you understand that it should also give us the opportunity to reflect what we can gain. I have not come here as the Secretary General of the Southern Cameroons Youth League, which is a movement that has been fighting for the independence of the Southern Cameroons for the past 15 years. I am not here as a black man. I'm in a race that has suffered subjugation, exclusion, and deprivation for thousands of years. I am not here as an African, a continent that has been robbed, its people kidnapped, sold as slaves, its bounties exploited. I am not here as a refugee, a set of people denied every other right, even the right of existence. I am not here simply as a Southern Cameroonian, a people who have been denied the right to statehood, people who have been denied even the right of existence. I am here as a human being with the dignity to protect, a life to aspire for, and a country to give his life for. That is why I am here. And if these three things are too big enough for La République to understand that it means a lot to us, then the fight is just starting. My essence coming here today is not to lecture you about the tribulations and perjury that we have faced under La République. It's been stated in books and journals and articles. It's not to tell you what was. Our presence here is testimony what was. It's not to recount the stories of yesteryears or the tragedies of today, the death in jails, the persecution, torture, extrajudicial executions. My presence here today is to rally everyone for the fight of tomorrow, the fight for a country of our own, the only place in which we can dwell in peace. We can live a life without being called refugees, without being called black people, without being called Africans. We can live simply as human beings. This installation is just a ceremony, but it's marked, it's engraved in stone. Its business is going to begin after you've been installed. It is not going to be an oath just to stand for the Southern Cameroons. It is going to be an oath to be a patriot volunteer for your next door neighbor. The oath that will be administered here today, it's not going to be a pact between you and myself. It's not going to be a pact between you and the SCYL. It's not going to be a pact between you and the Southern Cameroons. It's going to be a pact between you and your own humanity and your own self. And I'm not going to make it a ceremony that is done like those ones that have been done in CPDM halls. And I've also come here to let you know that the enemy, you are flirting a lot with the enemy. That is why we are still in a standstill. When I went through the occasion yesterday, and I find the amount of people mourning the passing away of Mr. Eno, I looked at them with pity and disdain, and I wish they were all in the graveyard. Because if you rallied them when he was sick and asked them for €5 to save his life, none of them would have given. So who are you fooling? The hypocrisy is for what? The judgment day is coming. And we should not rally here. We should not rally here to make pretense. I don't want to play God here. I'm not judging anybody. I'm speaking to myself and every one of us. Because this is my second time coming to Belgium in the last 2 months. We should not come here and sit here and profess to stand for a nation that has been disenfranchised, a people depraved for 50 years, manipulated by Francophones. And when we leave this hall, we go and make party with the same enemies. Share their football team, why they cannot select 2 Southern Cameroonians. The only thing they can give us is Victoria Centenary Stadium, where the smallest pebble in the field is big like a rock. Where the Mutengene football pitch is like a hill. The Bamenda Centenary Stadium has been transformed into a yard of gangsters. You go and still flirt with the enemy. You ask the Palestinians who the Jews are, they tell you exactly who they are. You ask the Kurds who the Turkish are, they tell you who exactly they are. You ask the Southern Cameroonian who the Francophone is, they hug them and say they are our brothers. But that brotherhood ends at the Matazin and the Mongo. It doesn't go beyond. The Francophone can laugh with you out here because they've come out to see that you are powerful, you are better off, you are tougher than them. Down there, you are nothing. Until you know that the enemy is next door. It's not Paul Biya. The enemy is next door. And you must deny the paraphernalia. I ordered the La République flag today because I wanted all of you who take the oath today to stand on that flag and denounce it. You must denounce the paraphernalia of La République du Cameroon. The anger that is in us should be palpable in such a way that it should be tangible. And if you don't feel it, you don't get it. And the essence of this installation today is that you get it. That Pa Zachariah Khan, who died 2 weeks ago, tortured until all his toes fell off, was not tortured in vain. That Sama sitting there who was tortured and locked up was not tortured in vain. That most of you people who have suffered tribulation didn't suffer in vain. The Francophone is the enemy. Until you declare it, notice it, feel it, and can touch it, this installation is a piece of crap. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.